Okay, in this video we'll talk about Hirschsprung disease. Why is it called Hirschsprung? Because it was discovered by a Danish doctor whose name is Hirschsprung. Basically, this disease affects the rectum. Let's study a little bit of physiology about the layers in the intestine. First of all, we have the mucosa. The function of the mucosa is to absorb food. After being absorbed, all the food will go to the second layer, which is called submucosal layer. This layer has blood vessels like arterial and venular and capillary, as well as lymphatic blood vessel. This layer has a net of nerves that is called plexus, Meissner plexus, and that's a very important name to remember. The third layer, which is called muscular layer. So we have inner circular muscle and then outer longitudinal muscle. So one of these muscle is going in circles and the other one is going longitudinal. And this is also a very important layer because between these two muscles there is another plexus which is called Auerbach plexus. After the muscle layer we have the serosa. So in this disease the rectum does not have any of the plexuses. So it does not have mesenteric plexus nor has the Meissner plexus. The question is, what is the function of these plexuses, Auerbach plexus? Normally our intestine is in contraction state. However, this plexus makes relaxation, makes the intestine relax. That's why in this disease, when there is no ganglion cells, rectum will be like a blocked pipe. It will be contracted like this. It does not allow any of the food to pass through it. That's why the symptoms, because this happens genetically, so the baby is born with this condition, so the meconium, which is the first stool, cannot pass through the rectum because it's blocked. It cannot relax. It's always in the contracted state. So it will collect just above the area where it's contracted, the area where it does not have any ganglion cell. It collects just above it in the normal area. That's why one of the most important things and diagnostic clue in the question will say that we waited for the baby for 72 hours and it has not passed, and the baby has not passed any meconium. And when we put the finger inside the anus, putting the finger inside the anus will open the rectum as well. And then once the stool sees just a slight opening, it will be an explosive passage of stool or gas. And this is very diagnostic. Anyway, in the exam, how will they ask? They will tell you that scenario. We have a baby, and the only symptoms that he has not passed stool for the last 72 hours. It's very important that that's the only symptom. The baby might have a little bit or mild distension of the abdomen, but that's the only symptom. No other symptoms initially. And that's very important to differentiate it from other diseases. So if the baby is well, but has not passed meconium, so the diagnosis is Hirschsprung disease. What is the next step in management? We have to take a full thickness biopsy. So that's first question in the exam, how to diagnose it definitely. Full thickness rectum biopsy. So we have to take mucosa, submucosa, muscular layer, and serosa in the biopsy. And the second question is management. When do we do operation? It's between 9 and 12 months. We cannot do before that because we will wait for the intestine to grow a little bit bigger so we can pull them as I will explain in a bit. So we just wait for the intestine to grow a little bit bigger, as well as before the 9 months of age. Babies are generally very fragile and they cannot endure or withstand general anesthesia. So what do we do on the operation? We will remove the rectum, the one that does not have any ganglion cell, and then the normal one, we will pull it downward through the pelvis. And what's happening here? And then once we reach the anus and the muscles around the anus, we will suture it to the anus. And that's why it's called anorectal pull-through procedure. Will it affect the baby if we remove a small segment? Listen, the the length of the whole intestine is about 7.5 meter. So if we remove half a meter, that's fine, because the baby will still have 7 meters, and they will live normal life.